So I'm gonna start us off. I do have music playing in the background. Please let me know if that is too loud. Okay, let's get started. So you guys know we always start off with the DXY. Um, start off with the DXY. We are looking at possibility of maybe a short, another 3-day run. Short. We did see an aggressive run for the past like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about a week ago, we saw aggressive run. Probably, not probably, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About a week, almost. We had an aggressive run. I do think that run has sadly come to an end. We will go over this and explain exactly why we think this run has come to an end. Well, why I think the run has come to an end. So we'll start with CLT data. Um, we'll look at the bar charts. So this is just housekeeping stuff we're gonna do. Not Bitcoin, housekeeping stuff before we actually start marking up the chart. So from last week, we had them adding shorts last Tuesday. I think that was the first of the 19. So first 19. So literally right here, these guys started adding shorts. They do still have longs out too. So we may see another, maybe I'm thinking maybe a push up to the daily highs to make the new high before we take the market. So if we, I remember we were in this, UCAD was doing this aggressive move. This was, it was very scary. UCAD was in this, I think it was 2 days ago or 3 days ago or something, when UCAT started doing this aggressive run. Actually, I'm going to show you guys so you guys can see it yourself. So right here it is right here. Here we are right here. So as we can see, the dollar isn't really representing what UCAT's doing, but we saw that UCAT's actually been in this aggressive run. We got a nice buy from that day, about 99 pips, almost 100 pips. So we actually go and look at this, the open of this day. Let's go and look at this. So this was about New York time, 9 a.m. Remember, guys, what I told you, that the open of the day is very crucial. You guys need to know that. You guys need to know that. You need to know when the open of the day is, of the new day. It's UTC 5. You need to have your time at New York at all times. And we can just go over this. So the 20th was when that rejection happened. The 22nd is really when that new day started. We got a nice move into here. Let's go now hourly real quick. Let's take a look at this. So this is the 21st. This was the 21st, that day that we had that aggressive run at 10 a.m. The dollar, this was during news, the 21st. So I was going over this with Queen, not you, Shane, but Queen from that just came in. But I was going over this with her on how news correlates with price action, and I was going over how it doesn't matter about what the numbers are. So this was Friday. We had some news come out around 9:45 p.m. I mean a.m. So this was the flash PMI. Once again, guys, I specifically trade specific pairs, so I always keep my filters. I don't like non-important news like this yellow weak news and non-important news. I do trade CAD, Euro, GDP, the yen, and the dollar. So those are my filters. I have all the types of news. I don't have a specific favorite pair of news. The thing when I'm looking at news is the numbers do not matter to me. I was telling Queen this. They mean nothing to me. I'm not focused on the numbers. When I'm focused is the time of the news. And it's very important to understand that when the time of the news is, because that's actually when we might be getting that open. And that's exactly what happened on that Friday. Friday we had that the USD news at 9:45 a.m. So if we actually go around 9:45 a.m., that was when that news came. But 9:45 a.m. New York time is when the news dropped, which was about here. So let me go in a 30-minute. This was the 22nd, Friday. So I guess it was up here. 9:45 a.m. Right here. So news came out around this time right here. This was that day when the dollar just bought super aggressively. Let me go on the 4 hour real quick. Mark that guy up right here so you guys can see. So this long wick right here, this was the 21st. Let's actually look at we'll start with the 21st. After we got that reversal happening on the dollar, we got news around 8:30 a.m. We got the unemployment claims. Unemployment, we don't have to look at the number. We don't have to look at the number, but just looking at it, we saw that unemployment claims actually went down. But it doesn't matter what the number is because price action is already incorporated inside of the news. So all they're doing is they're just using what they already know and they're incorporating that inside the news. So this was when news came out the 21st, 8:30 a.m. New York time. So we got that unemployment claim. So around that time is when news hit. So 8 a.m. You go 30 minutes in. Literally at 8:30 is when that news hit. And it's insane how you guys it can be accurate on this. We remember what I was saying that if the Judas swing doesn't happen during Asian, it will happen. I mean, if it doesn't happen during London, it will happen during New York, and that's exactly what we got. We got this aggressive move to the downside, and then we got the retest before we got the continuation. That is actually when I got in this trade around 8:30 a.m. New York time. So I was holding it for a few hours. And then the next day, this was the 21st. The 22nd started around here. I guess the new daily opened about here. But if something like this happens, where you get an aggressive run and then you got a new day starting right here on Thursday, then you would just stay out the markets because most of the new days. So let's look at the daily again. This is UCAD and price opened here. Price came down here. So the daily open was down here. This is like a rare occurrence where price will open around Asian because it usually does not happen. You usually get price opening here around 3 a.m. So around London, New York. So yeah, we did get that low of the day, but it was halfway through that move, which I mean, if you would have missed it, you would have already missed. You would have already missed like 49 pips. That's okay though, because we're not gonna be trading off of risky markets, So once again, this was that Judas swing, and then the next day the market opened at 3. We can eyeball this. This is about the 50. The This is about the 50 of this order block. I was talking to Shane yesterday. We were talking about what an institute. She sees different institutional candles. I see order blocks, all of them. I call them all order blocks, but I know specifically which ones I know that are order blocks. So this was the 22nd. News came out around 9:45 p.m. a.m. Keep saying p.m. I don't know why. So this was the guy I was watching. Really, really. We got about 50% of this was the safety net. We were slightly below this. My entry was above this, so my entry was this guy right here. My stop loss was slightly below this guy. My target, which was right here, and we had a nice 46 pip run that day. And the reason why I took this trade is because it was so obvious we were going to get that push up. We were actually targeting these daily highs right here. My target was right here, but we got a nice push into this bad boy right here. So if we do get a continuation up, we might see a nice run for the CAD, UCAD, to get some liquidity above these highs. Now, people are like, why are you doing everything on the daily? I do that because I don't need to look at anything else. Unless we're reaching like a monthly, like a very specific monthly levels, I don't even look at the monthly. Unless I'm like getting to the 52-week low. And I know I'll be getting to the 52-week low with my bar chart. So I don't even need to go and look at the monthly because bar charts is telling me where I'm getting in terms of price. So we are getting close. We were at that 52-week low on the 5th of January. So we were at, that's why we got that aggressive buy right after that that move on the 5th. Where's that at? Right here. So it was just the 5th. We got this aggressive move as soon as we got the about 156 pips. If you would have held it to the top of this bad boy right here to fill in this liquidity, I mean, this fair value is about 210 pips. And this was a few days worth a move. But now we're in this week. We're watching this week. What are we looking for? What are we looking for? Well, remember what I said about the daily candle? That the daily, how it works. So the daily on Friday actually closes. All this move was done on Friday, but it's not done yet because Sunday is actually the other day of Friday. Now I know that sounds confusing and whatnot, but Sunday is the other day, the completion of Friday. Friday only completes halfway because we get a nice push during New York all the way to like maybe 4 p.m. When this Sunday opens at 4 p.m. It finishes off that Friday. So in order for me to be confirmed that this is this is a simple push above the highs, and this is going to continue to go up. I need this guy to close but above this 50%, which is the shoot. I am really blanking out right now. So it's a safety net. We have a safety net on the daily. So I need this daily. If it's a sell, it needs to close below this low. So these two guys right here, this daily candle, this Sunday, we need to get a close under these guys right here for me to even think about selling UCAD. Even though, I mean, they're telling me UCAD selling, but I need to see a close down here, at least under these bad boys, for me to even thinking about selling UCAD. But as of now, UCAD is still bullish. So we will be looking at that. What I would want to do though is I need a 37 pip run. It can happen. UCAT can do that easily. Once we do get that 37 pip run, 40 pip run, and we close below the safety net of the dollar, and then by London, if London happens, um, if London comes around, I'm gonna be thinking about catching the sell. I will be thinking about catching the sell. Where would I be catching the sell? Right here. Simple as that. We will catch the sell into this 4 hour order block to catch the move either up or down. There is fair value in this price right here. So we might get a nice, if we do close under here, we might get a nice 46 pip run before New York opens on 7 a.m. Monday. So this is why I don't trade Sunday, because I understand that dynamic that New York, that Sunday is actually the other day of Friday. So Friday does not complete. Friday is half of the trading day. Friday closes at 5 or 4 New York time. And then Sunday, when does the market open? 4 or 5 New York time. So that's why you need to understand that everything is chronological for a reason. It's planned out. They're finishing that Friday move Sunday. So that's why I'm just saying you guys need to be careful in the markets on Sunday, because this thing could just go up and then drop like hell, or it could just drop and then play around here for a little bit. If it does consolidate here for a bit, but it does not close above this 50, I will love that. And then continuation down. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get it right now, so I know the 50, where the 50 is.
I still got some trades open that I left open Friday.
For UCAT.
Now, I'm just saying in general.
Oh yeah. But yeah, you guys, I would keep that in mind that it will do that. In fact, I know a lot of people are gonna be mad, but um if it does sell, folks are gonna be mad because it's a very high probable sell right now. I'm looking at it and it does look like it's gonna sell. And if we do get a break under this 50, under this mean threshold, so let me delete this. Oh, undo. I wanted to get this black one. So if we do get a break under this daily mean threshold, if I see that that daily candle breaks and it wicks so fast and it closes under this, I am bearish. I am 100% bearish. I will be looking for a short, and I will be targeting these lows. So these lows are first, and then I'm just holding UCAT for like a minute. So that's what I'm saying. Be careful if you're in a trade, especially if you're in this UCAT buy, because we might get a nice push up. We don't know yet. So, and then the dollar is also showing that too. So let's actually look at the dollar here real quick. So this is the actual DXY. Give me a second. So we got the nice run. This looks like a retest. Now people are looking at this like, this may be a retest. This may be a push, but let's actually redo this. This guy right here, this bad boy right here, this candle right here is very important. This is an order block, or I don't know if some of you guys can call it that, but it's an order block according to ICT. The mean threshold, the 50% that we need to be watchful for is right here. So if it breaks above this on the daily, so by the time London comes around and price breaks above this, which is above these highs, which is what I was thinking, we are definitely bullish and we are clearing out these highs. And then I will be confident in that UCAD is actually continuing up to clear out these highs, because as of right now, I am very much still pretty bearish on the dollar because it's giving me signs. It's giving me signs that we may be bearish on the dollar. So this is the main threshold. We are currently at the entry of that bad boy. So notice how price came, touched it. This is the main threshold. I mean, we got till London tomorrow night or Monday morning to know if this is legitimately a sell. This is why I stay out the markets on Sundays because there's no point of determining if it is a sell. Just let the markets tell you. So if we break above this guy here and the daily closes here, I am having a strong bullish move, which is a nice. This is the DXY. You can't trade the DXY, but this is a nice 50 pip move in like the UCAD or something to clear out the highs. But I am watching this, and if we do get a nice, this is an order block. This is where they put a lot of orders. I was telling Shane yesterday that everything's already placed in the market is algorithmic, literally. So if these guys wanted to sell, they already know where to sell from. So they have their orders in right here. If they're like, okay, so if you guys, if more than 50% of the market is selling, the market's going to sell. And more than 50 is buying, you will know because they will break these order flows. The order flows, there's always people winning and losing in the markets, always, every time. So the order flow will automatically be shifted to bullish if we do close before London bullish above this 50%. So the entry right here is very important, and then this 50% is also very important too. Because you guys need to understand that. So if we close above this on the daily, we may look for a push possibility, especially on a daily, for a push to clear out these highs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is literally the last hope for the dollar. And I was telling someone that, and it's kind of funny because I was like, the dollar has one more day to prove to me that it wants to be bullish. And when it actually does prove that it's bullish, we might get a strong correction. Like I'm talking, when I say strong correction, I'm talking like pretty strong correction in terms of price, where we will be targeting. So we'll probably be eating off of UCAD for a few days. I'm thinking like maybe 3 to 4 days, or maybe even a week. If we do get that close on Sunday, price could easily push up into our next target, which is this bad boy right here. So we do have this is the 50 right here. So this is the main threshold of this guy. And it happens every time. So once this comes up, we break this main threshold, it'll go up to the new high. Once this comes up, we break the main threshold, it'll go up to the new high. That's how price repeats itself, and it'll just keep doing that until we can no longer break order on the sell side. I mean, on the bullish side, and it tanks the market, and these guys start switching their order flow to sell. So, but as of now, according to the dollar right now, it does not look very bullish for the dollar because we are at a strong order flow order block, and this is a wick order block specifically. So we are at that entry. So price looks like it is rejecting pretty nicely. So I would, if you are in that buy, I would be careful because the 4 hours also telling me that it's rejecting pretty nicely. Here's that fair value right there. Notice how price came in. The banks filled in that fair value. And if this is legitimately a sell, they will continue to tank this market. So we might see a push down below these lows or even up here. So just keep that in mind that we are in like shaky markets. I wouldn't even be trading UCAD until I know for a fact that it is in bullish market. So that's why I don't get in on Sundays. But let's look at UCAD again. Once again, so here's a dollar. If UCAD somehow manages to reject, if it comes down here and it closes below this and the daily closes below this 50%, I am 100% bearish. I will drop some like 10 standards and then go to sleep. When London happens, I'm just going to sleep. And I'm telling you guys right now, let's look at news next week. So yeah, like I was saying, and there's no heavy news Monday too. So if we do get a nice push during London, you best believe it's going to continue during New York, because we might get that first push around. There is news around 11:15 a.m., but it's for Euro. Not a lot of heavy news this week, which I'm loving it. You guys can see that. So we'll go over um, each of this. I do write this. I write these news in my phone, and you guys see my screenshots that I send all the time. I'm like, news coming up. I'm getting it at this time. So I know that Monday I'm not going to be entering the markets till about probably 3:30 a.m. And then I got 15 minutes to look at the charts before news hit, and then we're in the markets. We're in the markets then. So I will be up around 2:40, 2:30 my time to catch this. If this is a legit buy, I will catch this buy and hold it. But as of now, the dollar is at its last length, where if it closes below this, and it does look like it is doing, this looks like a doji, and you guys know what happens after a doji. You get an engulfing candle that swallows this guy. You guys remember that? And what is that called? That is called a morning star. So I'm going to show you action evening star. So let me show you guys an evening star pattern. Now, I'm not the type to trade patterns, but I just want to show you evening star pattern FX. So this is the evening star. You got this move here, and then you got that doji candle, and then you got the aggressive sell. And if we do get that aggressive sell, and it will sell if it closes below here by London, Monday, I'm definitely bearish 100% UCAD. 100%. I can bet my account on it 100%. So we will be looking out for that. It's looking like a really nice evening star that's about to form. So I'm just letting you guys know. If you are bullish, I already got out. I took my profits at 50 pips because I knew I was targeting the highs. I got what I wanted and I got out. So I'm out the markets. I'm not going to be trading. The only pairs I'm going to be trading until Monday, London, is, you guessed it, Bitcoin. So I'm not in the markets until it tells me that it wants to sell. Now, keeping that in mind, we need to understand what we're looking at in terms of the other pair. So if we're not going to be bullish dollar, what does that mean for the other pairs? So let's actually look at this in terms of price action. So you guys can see we did that monthly. So the month of EJ, that this monthly candle is not done yet. We still got about 6 days left until, so we got about 1 more week left until, you guys can see over here, we say 6 days, 0 hours. So we got about a week left for this guy to close. And we do have fair value right here. This is why I still think that Euro is actually very much bullish. Don't be fooled by this rejection. That's why I think Euro is actually pretty still much bullish. We might get a nice push up to fill in this fair value before. Notice how it came and touched the wick, but it didn't fill in that fair value for price to sell. So price is still pretty cheap down here. Once it gets up to fair value, if we're bullish still, we'll see that it's bullish. If we're bearish, we'll see it reject right away. But as of now, we are still at a pretty high fair value price. And we're still targeting that fair value price. And I'm looking at this guy right here, this move down here. This is that monthly order block. This guy right here is that monthly order block. So we might get a nice rejection into this. If we do fill this guy in, you best believe we're getting a rejection back into this before we continue up, because that's what they're going to do. They're always going to mitigate price back into fair value, or the most obvious price. And sometimes, I mean, we've been missing it before, but now we won't. I promise you that. and we'll be missing moves probably by a pip or so. But from now on, we will not be missing moves because I'm gonna see it and I'll call it out in the group and I'll explain what I'm seeing, how we're gonna tackle it. So we got about 6 days. I mean, if you really wanted to, if you're scared for this buy, you could wait 6 days to see if it fills in as fair value. And I'm pretty confident that it will. Remember what I was talking about, how price tends to repeat itself in threes, 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4, and then it retests 1, 2. What's this? This can be 3, and then may retest, and that retest will be this guy here. But price tends to repeat itself in threes, including from all time frames. It's not just the monthly; it's on the 4-hour. The only time when price goes insane is hourly and below. But 4-hour, daily, monthly, you always get 3 candles and then a retest. 3 to 4 candles retest. 3 to 4 candles retest. It's the same thing that's been happening. You get about 3 to 4 candles retest. 3 to 4 candles retest. 3 to 4 candles retest. It'll keep doing that until price wants to reverse at a fair price. We're not at a fair price yet, so that's why I think price will actually continue up. Notice how it came and touched it, just like touch it, touch it, touch. But it's not done yet. Now that we're here, we know where the monthly is. We're looking at this on the, we're looking at this. I'm like, okay, so where are we in terms of price action? So we saw we were in this very bullish. When I saw this on the 19th, I was thinking, okay, so EJ may sell. And then the next day it did sell, but it refused to break these lows. Let me actually go here. For 2 days straight, this low, for 2 days straight, this low was the opening price. Okay, so actually I lied. I lied. So the high of the day was here on the, so the opening for the 20th was here. So let's go straight to the hourly. I don't even need to know what that was, but the opening for that price, exactly. I already knew it. London. Look at London. Came opening price. Came right here. I wish I can read this price. Um, Opening price was around 126, almost 175. We got that nice opening price, and then price tanked. We got this nice sell-off right to here. And that was the 20th, 92 pips. It came, sold off, and then for like a few hours, it was just consolidating, consolidating, consolidating. And then the next day started. The slow was never broken. It made the low of the day during Asian. So I'm gonna give you guys a little tip. When markets tend to reverse, they tend to make the opening of the days during Asian and continuations during London or New York. So let me write that out real quick. So markets, when they reverse, they tend to make either high or low of the day during Asian, and if in a continuation market, and to make it during New York, London or New York, London or New York. We'll go over this and I'll show you guys how you can spot this. And you're gonna be like, what the hell? Why didn't you tell us that before? Because I wanted you guys to see it. So this is in everything. This is literally in every market. So this is why I think UCAD is actually gonna start reversing. So let's actually take a look at this real quick. So let's go to the daily. Let's go to the daily. When this guy closes, we will see there might be a possibility that the high of the day may be during right here. What's this? This is Asian. This is during Asian. So it's about 2 p.m. Give it about 6 hours. And if it tanks, that'll be the high of the day. And it's crazy because it could come all the way up here and then tank into London. So that's also why I don't trade Sunday because of that. Let's go back to EJ. So yes, like I was saying, markets tend to reverse. If they're reversing, they'll make the higher low of the day either during Asian, and if they're continuing to price, they will do it during London or New York, and we'll go over this, and you guys will see it for yourself, so you're not just like, oh, he's just making this up. He's making it up. So this is that next day, that continuation price. Here's EJ, and we'll see it continue. This is why I think we will get a nice push. Um, this is the opening price. If you were in EJ from down here, the day I got in, I got like 50 pips. I got out. I don't hold trades for days because I just get in the opening price and closing price. But um, let's just take a look down here. Let's go straight to the hourly just to look at this to see why this is important. So right here, this was the next day. This was where it reversed, literally right here during Asian, right here. As soon as it hit 6 p.m., 6 p.m. New York time, 6 to 5 p.m. New York time, that's Asian market. You got about 5 p.m. to about 9:30 p.m. is Asian. And then after that, you got Sydney markets around 9:30 p.m. to about 12:30 a.m. New York time. And then after that is London. So Sydney market started, Asian started here, Sydney started here, and then London started right here, and then price continued up. So let's look at this real quick. So this was that. Remember how the low that day, the high of the day from the previous day was here. Let's look at that. The high of the day was here, and then it closed here. Since this is a true reversal pattern, and it's a true reversal, it they open price back at 5 p.m. They started the new day at 5 p.m. Asian. So if you're looking at this, you're like, oh, that's crazy because they started price at 5 p.m. instead of at London. But that's okay because you know this. You can now you understand that the bias is now bullish because we are having that reversal, and then around London, that's when you can look to enter your trades. I usually get in around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., which is about whatchamacallit. So actually, let me take this back real quick to about right here. So let's just say this is about, we'll get in, I'll show you, we'll get in on a 15 minute. So this is the 1 hour guy, and I'm watching this, and I know that this is an order block. This guy is an order block. The 50% is about right here. So I'm eyeballing it is about right here. So I'm gonna watch the next few candles. Okay, I'm watching. I'm planning out my trades now based on that. So now I know that, actually let me go back, that the front of this, and then here is the guy right here, the threshold, the mean threshold, the safety net, where I know if it breaks that, we might still go into bearish markets. And I already see my entry. So here's price came here, and then this was that last down move before we got that move up. So I can measure this from here to here. This is the main threshold. This is on a 15 minute, but I don't use main thresholds on a 15 minute because they don't hold themselves accountable really. Because sometimes they are broken. On the 15 minute, you do want to get in on the main threshold, and then my stop loss is under all these main thresholds. But I'm getting on the main threshold of that 15 minute. Let me actually go back so I can scale this side. And then my target, I already have it up here. It's this guy up here. So it would be about a nice 34 pip run. And this is on a 15-minute run. We'll watch it play out and see where it goes. So boom, right here. So price came in. Price came in around 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Boom, price entered. And then what I want to see is a nice rejection away from that. Right there, boom, this was that confirmation. And then that's when we just started going. boom, and we hit it. So right when we hit it, this was around New York time. New York, all it's doing is just reversing. It's not reversing, I mean, it's literally just coming back down, mitigating back into price. Since we know this is a true reversal, New York is just going to continue price. It's just going to continue price up. So if it doesn't do that, it will continue price pass and just keep going up to new highs until it make the new high. But let me get out of this real quick. So you got understanding that is like super important. Like just understanding the time dynamic of like when price when they're doing reversals, they usually do it around Asian, like a big reversal, not no little reversal now, like a really huge, massive reversal. They will do it around Asian time, um, and you'll know because it'll be the new day, and it'll either make an equal high or do a Judas swing during Asian. You'll be like, why is it doing the Judas swing during Asian? Oh, it's reversing the markets. So basically, a Judas swing is just a clear for the highs, like when it, like if price is targeting highs, it'll it'll sell before it buys, or it'll buy before it sells, and you'll see that a lot during price. So this was that one day. This is the next day right here, and we're looking at that. Price kept continuing, and this is the 22nd, and now we're waiting for the 24th. Price they're quiet, so we're waiting. We're patiently waiting. If we close, we close above this guy here. So this is that order block I was saying, and this is how I will know that this is legitimately a buy, because we'll get a nice price will stay above these highs, this 50%. So if we break below this and it closes bearish, we may look to go on the sell side, which I doubt, because this is some strong demand that they were doing. So, but I doubt it. So we will look to continue to push price up. We'll go and look at the other pairs and compare them too. So, um, once again, I would let this finish. Not really worried. So I do see the target. We are targeting this fair value up here, and you guys can see the gap. There's actually a gap right there. Notice how. So if you're looking at this, notice how price came. It came down and then it gapped down. This gap was never filled. These wicks do not care as filling in gaps. Wicks don't care as bodies. Bodies bring volume. So the wicks are just there to fill in space, but they're not filling in orders. The bodies fill in orders. So we still got that nice push, possibly 80 pips to fill in this guy. And I do think it will, if we close Friday right around here somewhere, back up here, you best believe I'm dropping a bomb to go fill in this order, and I'll fill in this fair value. And then once we break that fair value, it's going to the moon from there. Because once we break this monthly fair value, we are going to the moon. This is that monthly fair value right here that we're looking to go fill. So if we go, that's a nice 150 pip move almost. So if, like I was saying, if we do break this, we're going to the moon. So let's look at EU real quick. I'll look at GU next, but let's look at EU. I'm letting my runners run in EU. I got out after I hit my TP up here. And I'll explain, because it was a run on liquidity, and I was in for about 25 pips liquidity run. And it was just a clean move. It was a really clean move that I saw, and I really enjoyed getting in that trade. So we'll talk about it. Let me delete this also. What I was looking at. So when I saw this move, I'm looking at the daily. Remember, I get on the daily opens. I don't be joking either. So this was the guy I was focused on. There's that 50% right there, which is where I marked it down here. So let's do that again. There. So here's that 50%. I knew that if it passed his 50%, the trade is over. But that means we're gonna get a strong occurrence of price reversing, but it never did. So this is just where my entry was from the 4 hours. So let's zoom in. So I knew this is a safety net. I got all this room for this safety net. This is why I like trading the euro. I know this is the 50%. My price, I was looking at the wick here from here to here. There it is right there. So I knew that from this price, to this price, which is the 50% on the daily, I have this much room for mistakes, about 37 pips, 40 pips for mistakes. So I took about 15 pip of that for it. But really, I knew it wasn't going to go off of this guy because this guy has already been retested here. It was going off of this bad boy right here. This guy right here. This is the 4-hour guy. This is the one I was actually focused on. And I actually got in on his 50%. So I got in at his main threshold, which is boom right here. And this is why I'm holding this trade. I got in at the 50% because I knew that these wicks, after they ran out these highs, they were going to come back down. So we got in at the main threshold. I got out 4 hours later. I got out about 9 a.m. and I just let my runners run. I've been letting my runners run, worry free. I know that they're going to buy. But let's take a deeper look exactly at why they are going to buy. So actually, let me go back and show you guys the daily target that I'm targeting these highs right here. And we are actually going to be targeting for the next week. We might be targeting this fair value up here on this. So if we do get a nice push, we will be targeting this fair value, which is about 136 pips. So we will be paying attention to that. I don't know why this is there. I'll look on the 4-hour real quick. So, oh, I see why it was the recent highs. I guess I don't need this. If I legitimately want to, I could target these highs up here because there's liquidity built up there. So let me mark this up. And that's also where the fair value is too. So we may get a nice run up into that fair value before we even think about, I like to make sure my X's are on the same spot. My charts have to be clean now. So why do I think this is still pretty bullish? We're forming another order block right here. Remember what I said, you got to think ahead of the market before it thinks ahead of you. You know there's always a down move before the buy. So what was this? This is that down move. So let's say you do miss this move. I know for a fact that it's buying. But let's say you did miss this move right here, right? And then the next day comes and you're looking for your entry during London. Here's your 50%. Your threshold, your safety net, your entry. Since this is on a 4-hour, your entry will most likely be at that threshold of that 50%. So let's go on the 1 hour real quick. Exactly right there. So let's say you do miss this move. My entry would be right here. This is that last drop before we get that buy up. So if let's say price pushes, buys aggressively, this guy would be my first entry, and then this guy would be my second safest entry. But from here to here, so I would be going long from this guy, and then my safety net would be right under this guy. And look, it's only 16 pips. It's that easy. Because if it breaks this, we're going for the daily safety net. And if it breaks that, we're bearish, 100% bearish. So all you got to do is just change your bias and go bearish. Because this allows you to understand the market dynamic of order flow. Like if they break something, we're bearish. If it continues, we're bullish. Right now, we're still bullish. There's nothing telling me that it's bearish right now, actually. Nothing's telling me that EU is bearish. That's why when people are telling me they were about to sell EU, I'm like, Sell EU. Nah, fam. You not want to be selling EU because they're gonna be really mad when the markets gap down. So this is exactly what's gonna happen. Market's gonna gap down. Oh, it's selling. It's selling. That gap's gonna fill in aggressively and buy. So Sundays is usually another time that amateur traders hate because they do not understand the gaps when the day opens. Sunday is finishing up Friday. Keep that in mind. Sunday is finishing up what? Friday, because Friday is still half the day. Friday did not complete its complete move. So it will gap in price because you have weird price action that has not been completed. So we might see a nice push into this 4 hour 50%, but you best believe it'll gap real fast back up. It'll reject this spot real quick, like it's paying bills, like it's escaping bills. It'll come down and reject it super fast. So if it gaps down, that'll confirm that it is buying, and I will be going long, but at a lower price, at a cheaper price. And while everyone's selling, I will be adding more longs, and I will be catching it into the fair value. And that's it. I'll just catch it and go to sleep. Everyone else is struggling. But it's that easy. All you need to do is start at the daily, go 4 hour, and then move on. You know what your safety nets are. You know that this is the daily safety net. This is a 4 hour safety net. If it breaks this, if it's between these two, I'm not even in the trade. I'm not even worried about it anymore. I'm just gonna let the day pass. If it closes above this, then I'm getting back in the trade. But once it starts getting between my 4 hour and my daily safety net, just leave the trade alone because there's a high probability it will continue to go and probably go and touch this guy before it rejects. There might be some consolidation, so you want to stay out the markets just because it's being stupid. I call it being stupid. Most of the time, it'll do this during Asian session. That's one of the reasons why I hate trading Asian for this exact reason. But anyways, um, I will not be trading Sunday. I will be trading uh Monday when London opens. So I'll do GU last, but let's go to GJ. Start at the daily. Um, same thing. So I did delete that for a reason. So let's go to the monthly real quick and see where we're at. So when you're looking at this, you're like, oh, it looks like GU's actually at that fair value. Not necessarily. Now this candle right here is that completion of this move up before the drop. So fair value is still fair value, even though we did hit that order block, but we still have fair value right here. And how do I know? Because there's a gap right there. When price gaps like this, where there's no, where it just gaps and price does not fill it in at all, it came up, didn't fill it in, gapped again, dropped down, like went to hell, came up, did not fill it again. You need to keep your eyes need to be open onto this. You need to be like, okay, something's interesting about this area because they obviously didn't fill it in, and they didn't fill it in for a reason because they have orders in there. So they're trying to make a fair price. So if they are tanking the market, they can tank it back down to here, this bad boy right here, this monthly bad boy right here before they continue it up. And and that's exactly what I think they're planning on doing. So we might see, remember what I was saying, there's always three successions. 1, 2, 3. This guy is not done yet. This guy is not done yet. So we might see a nice run for a push on Monday where it may create a new low and then push into this price to fill it in for the fair value before we even think about coming back down for this support slash demand zone before continuing up. But I do believe that GDPs and all those other pairs are very much bullish against the dollar. So keep that in mind. I know that it's targeting, I have an idea that it's targeting the fair value. I don't want to say I know, but even though I'm pretty confident, let's go on the daily. And even the daily saying it too. The daily saying it right now. So here are the highs. These are the highs that I'm looking to break when I do believe it'll break. This was that order block right here. And it's crazy because I told you guys it'll come down to the mean threshold and it'll reject that bad boy fast. Notice how it came down to the mean threshold of this order block and it rejected it so fast, like it hates it. It hates it so much. Like a sibling you don't like to share with. It came and it touched that mean threshold and it just rejected it real fast. And it's for a specific reason. Like it's doing that because that's where the order was. They are rejecting that for a main reason. You do not want to be um, trying to sell in this market when you're getting close. When you're getting close to the mean threshold, just get out the market, watch it, let the daily close. Because you start getting greedy, you're like, oh, it's gonna sell, and you still got about 8 hours in the daily candle. You're gonna be really sad because in 8 hours it can sell or buy back up 100 pips, and it's done that before. Actually, it came down. Let's see how many pips it did. Came down and bought up 42 pips. That's nothing. This thing could easily reverse really quick. So I know that this guy has been. This guy has been. I mean, it still has about. I would say about 6 hours left. So I'm not gonna get in the G. This is why I am waiting until London so I can confirm that this mean threshold will not be violated. And then once it closes, you best believe I'm targeting this fair value. That's a nice 80 pip move, 99 pip, 100 pip move. You best believe I'm targeting it. Easy. It's the most obvious place to target. Like it's so obvious. And actually, if we go there, let's actually go there right now and show you guys where that is. What do you see right there? It's one of the most obvious place to target. And this is the exact reason why this is the obvious place to target. They put that there for a reason to just so people like if you actually know how to read the charts, you'll be able to know, oh yeah, there's an order block right there that has their cells probably waiting. They probably have their limits set up and everything for their cells, and they're waiting to tank the market around here. They're not selling the market here, so those people who are telling you GJ is gonna be selling right now, no, it is not. So don't be believing people. Look at price action. Look what it's telling you. Somebody tell me that crap, I'm gonna be like, no, no, it's not. I'm actually still in this long, and this is the reason why. This is why I'm still in this long right here. So I will not be looking for any shorts. If this closes bullish above this guy, I will not be looking for any shorts anytime soon in GJ. So.
Don't forget about Wyckoff, the what I showed you yesterday.
Oh yeah, and the Wyckoff thing. Yeah, this is the IPA. This is the daily IPA, correct? Or is it up here? I do have the Wyckoff thing, so let me go here. Boom, right here. I even have it saved up and everything right there. You'll know it's Wyckoff when you see this. So Wyckoff is another thing that I use in some of my tradings. So they call it the UTAD for the run. We call it the Judas swing. Um, this is the sell. So that UTAD where it takes out the highs is the Judas swing. And then usually the test is around 7 a.m. continuation, and then it just dropped. But you will see this pattern every single day in the markets. Every single day. You can call it Wyckoff or you can call it ICT, but it's the same thing, just different names. And you will see this every single day in the markets. No joke. It'll do a Judas swing and then reverse. You'll know if it's reversing. If it's legitimately reversing, remember what I told you guys. If this is legitimately reversing, we should see the new day, the new daily. So if I'm looking at the daily candle and I notice that the daily is forming during Asian, I'm like, maybe it's reversing. Maybe they were right. But until then, I'm still very much bullish GJ. Very much bullish. Actually, high probability bullish GJ. I would bet my account on it that I'm bullish GJ. So we got enough room to mess with to figure out that this is bullish. Oh, and look what we have right here. Boom. So this is the this is that 4 hour. This is that 4 hour guy. Here's that safety net. So you got this range from this range to this range. So you got about a 15 pip range to decide if you want to get out this trade, if it's actually bearish. So once again, if this 4-hour closes under here, we got about 18 pip range to decide if it's bearish. And then if the daily closes under here, I'm going to be officially bearish GJ. But until then, I am super bullish GJ 100%. You might get price may come down into here and play around here, but for a little bit. But when the 4-hour closes, I better see a wick above this guy to confirm. Because when it closes under here, I'm gonna be like, I'm out this trade. I'm not even risking 18 pips. It's worthless. I can make $180 off of 18 pips. So I'm not even gonna try to mess with this trade anymore. And I'll go on to the next. It's that simple because I know what my priorities are and I know what I'm looking for in the market. It's no longer whatchamacallit. And actually I think I do know what it's doing right now. If I actually wanted to trade on Sunday, I would just hop in on the buy when the market's open. That's how confident I am. But I'm not gonna do that because there's no point because I already know what it's gonna do. Notice how it came down. It'll come down and play in here a little bit. Don't get me wrong, it'll come down and play in here a little bit. I don't really look at the hourly safety net just because I'd use it more as a stop loss. So notice how the hourly safety net is also that daily safety net as well. So here's that 50%. So if I was getting in on this trade, I would be here right now. My stop loss would be slightly under this. Slightly under this. The moment it closed, so before my stop loss even hit, if that 4-hour closes under here, I'm out. I'm out. If the 1-hour closes under here, I'm not worried because I'm gonna go straight to the 4-hour and see, oh, the 4-hour isn't done yet. I'm still bullish until that 4-hour closes. When that 4-hour closes underneath this 50%, I am out the trade like by 5 pips stop loss. And that's how I've been taking my trades and not ruining my risk easily. So we're gonna actually do some back testing here real quick. So we're gonna do this day right here. So we're gonna start here. We'll do this day and then we'll do these 4 days just so you can see. So actually I'm gonna clear some things. So I'm gonna clear this, and this, and then I'm gonna do some back testing and we will go over and see how you guys can see that everything is planned. So I'm gonna start right here. So automatically, I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, so I am here right now. This wick is definitely. So here's the 50% right here. I know that if it breaks this, we're bullish. This is the front of that guy. I know I'm not getting in on the front on the daily. That's just idiotic. I'll go on the 4-hour and look at where I'm at for price in terms of price. And I see right where that 50% is. I see fair value. I see fair value right here. So what I would be looking for is for price to mitigate into here. And I want a strong rejection right off that. And then we're going to see a buy. I want to see intense buying power right away. So here's my entries at the wick of this because this is a wick order block. My stop loss is slightly below this. And then we'll let it play out. So notice how it came. Price came. It filled in this guy. So it came. It filled in this fair value. And it reversed instantly. And look where I was targeting. I was targeting this fair value right here. It filled that bad boy in. And that was it. And that trade is done. Simple as that. And then I'm going to go on the daily. So that daily is completed. That daily is completed. This is the next day forming. And that's this guy here. So now this guy is my main point of interest. I'm going to delete this guy. This guy is my main point of interest. He is about 50-50 body wick. So I'm going to go from here to the body. and then the 50% is right here. So it's always my safety net. I'm always making sure my safety net is not violated for me to stay in this trade. So I already did this trade. You guys just watched it. Now this guy is what I'm watching. I'm focusing on this guy right now. This is the order flow. This is the last down move before that push. And then I'm gonna go on the 4 hour. Here's that last down move before that push. We did fill in this fair value. So we may see a nice push back down to here before we continue price. So I actually may even enter right here. My TP, the next obvious place, this up move before the drop. That's fair value right there. My stop loss is going to be slightly below that. And let's watch it. So price has not come back down. Price refused to come back down into this just because we still got that very bullish. This is the 19th. So the new day is about to be created. Notice how it went up. Actually, it's kind of cheating, but price actually does mitigate all the way up into here. Let me go on the hourly so I'll probably just stay on the hourly just so I'm playing fair and I'm not looking at the stuff. So this is the 20th. It is London, and I know it's buying. So what's going to happen during London? Possibly a Judas swing, high probability Judas swing. So these lows. Now the wicks, people see the wicks, they're like, oh, but the wicks. No, I'm going after the bodies. Those are the lows. And then the 4 hour, let's look at the 4 hour. So this is this guy right here. We still haven't managed to touch this guy here. Here's the top of that. We still haven't managed to touch this guy here. So we may push down into here before we continue up. This is a pretty hefty move. So we might see a nice drop rejection into here to play around before we even see price going up. So what I would like to see is a Judas. It didn't do a Judas swing. In fact, it just kept buying. And then this is New York time. New York is opened. New York has opened, and now it's just going to reject, come back down to here. Looks like it is doing the New York Judas during New York. Okay, there it is. So it came back down, and that was what I was looking for. My entry to be here. My stop loss. This is too massive, so I'm going to let it continue. It's not done yet. It's not done yet. Let it do its thing. It's not done yet. Let me actually mark this up. Where my entry is going to be before it happens. My entry is going to be right here. I know that if it breaks this, I'm out. So now I have a safer entry, and my stop loss is even tighter. And I do not want to see anything. Where am I going to target? Back in fair value. So let's watch this. So price came, it's playing around. It has not come down here, so I missed that trade. That's fine. Let me look at this daily real quick. So those are the 4 days that we were just working on. And you will miss trades, but at least you know what the hell price is doing in terms of price action. And you know what it's doing in terms of where your entries are going to be. So everything is repeatable. We can do this with any pair. So this is how I was eating off. I got to check on Bitcoin real quick. See this hourly real quick. So Bitcoin is once it breaks this, so this is my 50% that I'm watching. If it breaks that, I'm out. I'm still in this trade. I'm still pretty bullish. It may be retesting this guy here, so I might add more positions. This may be that up move, that final up move. So if I'm watching this, actually, I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out now because that is, in fact, the up move before the drop. And I am between the 4 hour safety net. So I'm going to get out with my profit, with my loss. So I'm not going to hit the full stop loss. and it is 5:14 p.m. So it is Asian. So the new day is starting for that. I am gonna go bearish, so I'm probably gonna get bearish in here because it's a new day of Bitcoin. So I'm not bullish anymore. Let's go look at the daily. So this is the new day forming. This is that new day. It got about this is a true order block. If this is just simply an order block, we're gonna see a massive sell-off, probably down into here. And then we might fill fair value up to here. But since I'm looking at this, I do see that we had that aggressive up move. So this is the last up move before it looks like the drop is happening. And even right here too, we saw that it came and filled in fair value. So I am gonna switch my bias to bearish, and it's that simple. I don't even get in and hold it for so same thing. So this is exactly what I'm gonna do from here to here. This is that 50% safety net. My entry is right here. My TP is technically down here, but I'm gonna go below these lows, this body. First TP would be this body, below these body. And then second TP would be down here. But, let me get in this trade real quick. See USD. So 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 okay, and then my stop loss, since I know this is a 50%, so I have a safety net. It's gonna be right here about 26610. So 26610. I'm not gonna put the TP yet because it's gonna take a minute. I just want 26610. No, that's not my. I'm an idiot. That's how many pips it is. It's 32367. 32367. 32367. 32367. 32367. 32367. 32367. Modify 32367. Okay. So now I'm officially bearish Bitcoin. We are targeting this second guy right here. But officially we are targeting the fair value right here. Now that doesn't look like fair value because what I've been showing you guys that but if you look on the 30-minute, it is fair value. So that was that last drop. That was that last drop before price. So that is a good target for. Oh, and a 30-minute showing it too. Yeah, this is definitely a sell. This is a pretty reasonable stop loss. Yeah, my safety net is very safe, so I'm not even stressing about it. But let's go right back to GU. Let's go to GU real quick. Let's just clear this. I got in GU here. I was just holding it, but let's clear this. Let's start from the monthly. Remember what I was saying? It needs to fill in that fair value. It hasn't filled it in yet, so I know for a fact it's not done. It came up, barely touched, didn't touch anything, and then it rejected real quick. It's not done yet, so if we are getting that sell-off, we might it might sell for a little bit before it continues to push up. But once it fills in this fair value, then I'll be confident in even selling GU down to here before we can continue price. But it's not fair value yet according to the monthly, so I'm not really stressing about my entries. So we can go over this. So let's go back and do the same thing to GU. So right about here, we can do this exact same thing for GU. So this was that succession days. Here's a fair value right here on this daily. But I'm not looking at that. I'm actually looking at the last drop before that. This is the 50% right here. This is more of a wick than body, so this is the front of it right there. I go directly to the 1 hour, the best possible entry. There's that down move, that last down move before that, but I'm actually looking at this guy right here. So my entry will be right here. My stop loss will be right under here. So about there. Come on. Okay. So it actually dropped, price dropped down. Let's let it finish. Price came down around London. I didn't even look at the time. How idiotic am I? Okay, yeah, around London, it came down and it filled this guy in on the 4 hour. These 4 consecutive days is the 4 hour order block. So this guy that you're looking at right here, this guy right here that you're looking at where price just reversed is these 3 guys right here. Well, these 4 guys. And I actually did enter this trade. I don't know why I just fumbled this trade, but my entry would have been literally at the top of this. So like right there. My stop loss up under this. Where would my TP be? The most obvious area to fill in this guy. So boom, came nicely, filled it in, let it finish. So boom. Notice how it came literally to the T, rejected, and then it just continues. So is it almost the end of the day? Let's keep going. Not the end of the day yet. Okay, so the new day is gonna start soon. Let's look at the 4 hour. So that new day is gonna start. And then all of these guys I'm not worried about anymore because they've held their side of the bargain. So this I'm no longer worried about this. This is the guy I'm focused on now, this 4 hour guy right here. So this guy, this is the safety net that I'm focused on now. You might see a nice, if we do see a rejection, we'll see price could possibly come down to here before we can continue. Now you're looking at this, you're like, oh, but it did test this area. Let's look at that. You're saying, oh, it did test this area, but we might get a rejection down to here. Here's that 50% for this hourly. And then my entry would have been right here. Stop loss slightly under this. Would my next TP be? It's so obvious right here. Fair value. So it is currently 23 o'clock. Let it enter. So it came in, literally touched it by a wick, and then let's let it finish. And almost done. So we hit it. We came in. I'm not even by a down draw like of 16 pips, but down draw of 4 pips. You will be catching moves like this. It's so obvious. Like when you see what the hell the markets are doing, it's literally so obvious. You'll just be in there. You'll be like, oh, okay, I see where it's going. Here's my entry, my stop loss. If it breaks below this, I am bearish. It's that easy. And then you're just keep doing the same thing. So the next day is about to start. So it's the same exact thing. Where would you be targeting? Fair value right there. So obviously we got this move around. This move was made around Asian. The perfect target. Perfect target. It's around 23 o'clock. I'm not in the trade yet. It's 1 a.m. I'm still not in the trade. Actually, I do enter the trade now around 1 a.m. And then I will be targeting there. My stop loss will be right below here. And then we'll let it finish. Boom. And look how lovely that was. This was a nice 28 pip move. I mean, it wasn't really aggressive. So, but 28 pips, I'll take it. 28 pips, I'll take it. And that's literally how easy it is. And then it's New York. It's New York. It's New York. So what is it doing again? Another retest. Another retest. So it's doing the exact same thing. It came right back down and tested it again. So if New York made that low, where would you target? Let's zoom out. You see these highs? 20 pips right above the highs. Looks like it maybe do a liquidity run. Let's get that in. Notice how I came under this just for this exact reason. And then we're going to get this. It came up more than 20 pips, but we got a nice 20 pip move. So I noticed why I came back down to here. I should have been looking at the 4-hour, which is what I usually do. My stop loss will never be 39 pips. This is actually kind of embarrassing. Let's go back and go back to here real quick. Let's go right here real quick. And then I'll show you guys why it went to that 4-hour. And it's right there. It's right there. So here's this guy here. Safety net is right there. Same thing. My entry's there. My stop loss is slightly below this. This is where it was entering. And then it was targeting this 20 pip high up here. So this is a better entry. That's where it entered. So if we go here, you guys can see how it came and it tested this guy right here and it just rejected. And you'll catch moves like this every single day. So I got in around London right here. I got a nice 28 pips. That's fine. New York came back around and 9 a.m. I got in, boom, held it, killed it. And you will catch moves like this every single day, literally every single day. You can do this with any pair. What I'm trying to do though is get better at doing it with gold because gold has a different dynamic. That let me check on Bitcoin real quick, see how it's doing. So I mean, we're still bearish, still pretty bearish. I mean, got 30 minutes. They got 30 minutes till I know I'm confident enough to just not watch it anymore. Before I'm probably up already like 300 because I dropped like. No, I'm only up 100. That's nothing. But pretty confident that it's gonna be selling for a minute. So we will be checking on it as we're going through. But let's go back to GU. But yeah, when you start getting used to it, it just click. It just clicks. Price came around noon. This is London, so London came around. London created this order block. I was like, hell no. It's probably gonna sell a little bit more until New York. New York came back around. What did it do? All it's doing is just filling order. Let me delete this. That's why you can see stuff and you're like, oh, it's still pretty bearish, still pretty bullish until it tells me that it's bearish. Right here, boom. It was just filling this guy in. Right here. So it came and filled it in and then to reject it. Super heavy. I mean, you can measure this safety net right here. So if you measure it, this is mainly 50-50. So this is the 1-hour guy. So this sell order block right here, we did close above it, and it's not. I think it's gonna keep buying. So this is about Asian. Let's play it out. I don't trade Asian, but Oh, this is where we're at now. So this is why I'm thinking it's going to keep buying because it's already broken to 50%. It closed above it twice, 3 times actually. So best believe you're going to see this gap. Gap is going to come down here. Somewhere down here, play around here somewhere, and then continue up. So we can actually measure where it might be going. So here's that move. Your safety net's right here. So we may get a nice gap down here, play around, it might create a gap, and then it'll just fill it in. Where are you targeting? Where are you targeting? Above these highs? What's above these highs? The gap that we're wanting to close, exactly like 22 pips. So we may actually, it may actually close this gap at New York. I mean, Asian tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. If it does close it, if it doesn't close it, I'll get in another buy and kill it again. But if it is closing this gap, I'm not worried about it. I'm just gonna get in on the Judah swing to catch the sell. So I'm not really stressing about it. Let's do UCAD. So this is literally how we were eating off UCAD the other day. Let's just start. Let's just delete everything. Let's go to the dollar. So UCAD has been playing around. It did hit the 52-week low. It was just messing around in this guy here. Once again, you can do this on a monthly too, but it's not recommend. Well, I take that back. So you measuring it by the body. So this is majority. This down move is the last down move before the buy. So this is that order block. This is that last down move before the buy. Actually, this move has already been mitigated by this guy. So this is the guy that is. Give me a second. I don't like this song. So from here to here. So I mean, you want this monthly to close above here. If UCAT does close, the monthly does close. I mean, we got 5 days till the monthly close above this, and then this is bearish, and this is bearish. But if it stays closed under this, I'm definitely going. I mean, if it closes above this, it is bullish. If it closes below it, it is bearish. So, but notice how it came, wicked, and then it did that. That's all. What's good, bro? He says no power. The real shoes. Not much, bro. Just doing markups. We can trade this right here. So let's just what you got? All right, yeah. Let's start from right here. So we know it's gonna sell before it buys, but let's look at that real quick. So all it's doing is testing this guy here before. This guy is major. When I'm confused about if it's majority wick or body, I just measure the wick. So the wick is about 49 pips, 45 here. Where's the ruler? 45 here and about 27 here, so it's about 50 something. And this body, if it's not over 50 something, okay, so it's half wick, half body. So I'm gonna go from here to here. Is a safety net? Yeah, you got something that came in for you right there. So that's the 50%. What I would be expecting is it did reject. Let's go and look at the 4 hour. piece of tissue. Look at that. Came and filled it in, and then they rejected right away. But where's it going next when we're looking at this? Um, these lows. I don't count the wicks as lows because they're there for a reason. We might get a push. So this is the bot. It did wake up. What I want to see though is I want to see the body actually in there. So um, if this is a new day, what I would expect, I'm just gonna let the new day play out. So this is about almost Asian. Okay, so it came, yeah, I was hoping that it would come up and actually fill that in. So it did come in and fill it in. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, now it's New York. Perfect. Let's go back to the daily. So I didn't want to see that, but it did push up very high above this. What is that? Oh. Your water food. Shoot, I need to move this line somewhere here so I can. Reading our people like a piece of tissue. So eventually I want to see the daily close below this, but this is just doing a Judas swing. Let's go to the 4 hour real quick. So the highs are above here. Fair values right here. It's about 23 o'clock. So what I would like to see is for price to come into here before I even think about. So I'm gonna wait. It's about 1 a.m. Okay, it's about 3 a.m. Where's my cell? Jeez, struggling. And then the target would be back down here. Stop loss slightly above it. Okay, so here's that, and this is why it's super important to know like what the hell you're looking at. So if you're trying to get in this, if you're trying to get in the sell, say you're saying, okay, this is a Judas swing, and I'm trying to get in the sell. If you see this order block right here, so I just saw this order block that's formed at 3 a.m. and I'm in the sell, I'm getting the hell out because this is a bullish order block. If you see this, there is probably a 90% chance the new high of the day will be created during New York, and that's exactly what it's doing. So let's let it play out. It blew through. That's fine. But the new high of the day was created during New York, right here. So if you see this candle here, like say you're up at London, and you're like, okay, so I'm trying to get in the sell. I need to see a bearish order block, which is you want to see an up move before the sell. So you'll always see, if you're in the bearish market, you'll see an up move before the sell. This move right here is that up move before the sell. If you see a down candle, a black or red candle for you guys, you best believe that price may be buying. Let me actually check my Bitcoin real quick. So we got about 20 minutes, so I'm not really. I was in UCAD. Was I here? Okay, I was right here. Sorry, I gotta delete all of this. I hate when it does that. When it comes in and do that, it ruins the move. But once you exit the screen, it ruins it for you. So I missed the entry. That's fine. I don't really care. The fact is, I was just trying to prove a point. How you need to be able to see it. So I know that this is probably the high of that day. We were targeting this guy here. So this was that last push up. This is that fair value, but it's not gonna touch it yet. If we do touch it, it may be later on, like during the week. So let's look at that real quick. We'll keep this here just for safety concern, not safety, but just to prove a point. Let's go on the 4 hour, and you're seeing this crap. So here's that big ass up move before the drop, right? And then if this is legitimately an order block, it cannot break this guy on the 4 hour, the mean threshold. If it breaks it, I am out of this trade. So if it comes up here and it breaks it, I'm out of this trade. So let's say I missed a trade, that's fine. I'm waiting for the next day to play out. It should not break this guy for me to be bullish in the market. I mean, obviously bearish in the market, not bullish. What the hell am I talking about? So it is 2 a.m. Looks like we're doing a Judas swing to the sell side. This might actually be a bullish run to fill in that guy. So here's that 50%. Price came and touched it right there. This down move here is, I can guarantee you, is a 4-hour order block. So my entry would have been here. This is still kind of a heavy stop loss. My TP would be above here if this is legitimately a so it came, touched it nicely. Once again, I'm usually in charts for about 4 hours max. And I noticed it came up, up, up. Price came and it actually didn't touch this, but it looks like it's going back down, but let's let it play out. Okay. So this is where it's important to know when the hell to get out. If I'm looking at this on the 4 hour and I saw this guy form, so this is why it's also good to be looking at the time of the day. This guy formed on the 4 hour. That's the 5 a.m. guy. It is currently, so let me actually mark this out right here. 1 hour. So this is the up move before that drop. So this was Asian, right? No, this was London. I mean, sorry, I'm all over the place. This was London, and then New York was right here when it started, and then boom, New York actually came. New York actually made that high of the day before. Actually, I can prove that this is the high of the day. Let me delete this and delete this and delete this, and then where's go straight to the daily. Let me go back to that. That was not correct. Oh yeah, it's reversing. I'm stupid. I forget my own thing. So it's reversing. So that actually the high of the day was actually created during um, Asian, like I stated back in, was it EJ or EU? I don't remember. But the high of the day was actually created during Asian. When price is legitimately reversing, you'll notice that price tend to the highs of the days tended to be weird, and instead of opening on London or New York, they open during um, uh, Asian. So if you're looking at the charts and you notice that the daily candle it's starting on Asian time frame, you need to understand that a major reversal is coming up, and you need to start thinking about catching the opposite move, because you're going to be really disappointed if you find out that London is not creating. London actually creates the continuation of that, and then New York retests it one last time before it pushed. So if I'm measuring this, this is that last move, and it's crazy how accurate this is. But notice how it came. It touched it. It stayed under it. Touched it. It stayed under it. It did not break through. Touched it. Stayed under it. Touched it. This whole move here. So if I go on the 4 hour, this whole move here is that up move before the sell. So this is that up move before the sell. and price came, it touched it 50% and it tanked. That's fine. I missed this move. That's fine. I mean, it was a nice 67 pips. That's fine. Let's let it finish in this fair value. Okay, it didn't finish. It's not done yet. It is Asian. I don't like trading Asian. So there it is. It finished. So it didn't finish it up there. It finished it around. So here's London. It came back around New York. Boom, 9 a.m. Where did it hit? Right here. This was that last up move again before the sell. If you look on the 4-hour, remember how I was saying this guy right here? So this guy right here is that up move. It just repeats itself. So if you know that it has not finished filled this guy in yet, you know that it's gonna fill it in eventually. It was a nice 40 pip move. That's fine. I mean, my stop loss would have been right here, because if I'm measuring this move up, the 50% is right here, slightly above that. A nice 20 pip stop loss. This is about a 2.4, 1 to 2.4 risk to reward move to fill this guy in. That's fine. But really, the overall goal was to clear out these lows down here, because there's liquidity built down here, and there's actually a fair value right here. So this was actually the target down here. So let it play out. So it came, price came, mitigated back up, and then a new day started. So here's London. This is why I'm saying I don't hold trades for days, because the pull, I usually get them on the pullbacks. The pullbacks is when that new day starts. If you think about it visually, the pullbacks is when that new day starts. So when I get in at the maximum profit, get out the market, let some runners run from the top, and then I wait for the pullback, which is usually London or New York. Right here, 9 a.m. Same time and everything. And I knew it was coming to fill this bad boy in. It just came right down. And usually when it's doing that, it's very aggressive on moves. And this is probably a 20 pip run. Yeah, about 25 pip, 27 pip. So go to the 4-hour real quick. Let me clear it. Let's go on the daily. So we have made the low of the day. This was the 13th. This was that 13 when people are like, oh, it's gonna keep buying. Nope. It looks like it's gonna keep selling, because this is that last up move before it keeps going down. So from here to here, here's a 50%. Let's go on a 4-hour. Where's that 50% at? This was that last up move before the drop. It's already been tested. Here's that order block right here. Boom. There's a 50% of that. If it breaks that, it's bullish. When you're at the lowest of the lowest, like you don't have anything lower than this for months, all you're doing is just holding the sell. You're not, until price tells you otherwise. You know that the new day is going to be created when? During Asian. So you know that if this is legitimately a reverse, so it is 3 a.m. It's about 2 p.m. New York time. So keep going. So I usually wake up around 1. Oh, my entry's right there, boo. Angry people are angry people. So you would just hold your move and just let it run. So it did break. Let's actually look at that on the 4-hour. So it broke on the 4-hour, but the daily isn't done yet. So the daily also have, where's the daily candle here? If it closes above this, here's that fair value right here. Looks like it's targeting. I just want to let it finish. Okay, so let's let it finish. It revert. Oh, okay, yeah. So it started reversing around. Remember what I said? It reversed around Asian time. So this was around 5 p.m. Asian. This was on the 14th. The 14th was Thursday. So Thursday was when it started reversing after the close of Wednesday. So if you see that and you're like, okay, so it's reversing, we're bullish. We're bullish. If you see an aggressive move like that and you saw that it reversed during Asian time, automatically go bullish. I don't even care what anyone's saying anymore. I'm just like, oh, this is bullish. So keeping that in mind now, I have new priorities. This is my safety net. It should not break this. Where's my target going? Remember how I was saying up here to prove a point, but here's the 50% of that. Where's that 50%? Fair value right here. Boom. Let's go on the 4 hour. There's that fair value right there. This guy has been tested already with this guy. So now it's this guy right here. Here's a 50% of him. Let's go on the hourly. I literally do this and I'm like, okay, there's hourly, there's that, and my entry's right there. Boom. My stop loss is slightly below this. I'm targeting right at 123 pips. It didn't come down at all. This was around 9 a.m. This was around 9 a.m. So I'm still here. This is still my entry. So it didn't enter till now. I wouldn't trust this. So if it gets here and it's around Asian, I would actually close my thing because it may go lower. So we might actually get a nice test down here. Yeah, so if you're seeing this, you're like, hell no, I'm getting out this market. But it looks like, let's see, it is London again. Our target is still up here. We have not filled this guy in. My entry may be on a, is the last down move. There's that 50% right there that I just marked up. My entry would actually be on that 50%. Where would my stop loss be? Slightly below this. Where my target be? About all the way up here. So let's let it play out. So notice how it came and it filled it in. It's just been consolidating here for a minute. I mean, if I would have gotten in, I got in here around 11:30. That's still New York time. And then I would have held it for about 4 hours. If it's not doing anything for me, I would have gotten the hell out. This is that safety net. So I would adjust it about 23 pips and then just let it run. So notice how it came down. It broke. So let's go on the hourly. So now I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, so I see where it's going. Let me go on the 4 hour. It's targeting this down move before the buy. So there's a 50% right here. I don't get in at the top on the 4 hour. Hell no. I go straight to the the hourly, and I'm looking for my entries. There's a fair value right here. It's currently, I doubt it'll go this far down. There had to have been some heavy news. This was the 20th. Let me see if there was heavy news on the 20th for UCAD. 1920th. Actually, there was heavy news. This was when Biden was speaking. So yeah, there is a possibility price could come into here. So my entry's gonna be here. Actually, my entry's gonna be at the 50%. My stop loss is gonna be slightly below it. This guy right here. And then my target is still very much So this is well, see, this is when news hit. Let's actually look at that. So this is when news came out around 11:52 a.m. So we can go back. So I should have known this was a Judas swing. Being I'm just being stupid. 11:52 a.m. It's obviously a Judas swing. It's if it's around 11. So here's 11. Literally when news came out right here, that's when that Judas swing happened. And what's a Judas swing? Remember what I said? It goes around 20 to usually 10 to 20 pips, clears out the lows before it continues up. This is actually where I entered for my buy that one before I was in like up like 5 grand or something. I just waited for the news and then I held it for a minute. So once I got in here, I was just holding it. I'm like, I know for a fact it's not gonna sell below that because we're in a very bullish market. So I just held it until I hit my TP. The TP is still up here. This is the day. So this is currently. So UCAD may come back up and finish this before we get a sell. So we are currently here. Out of all those trades, I probably lost about 3. So just knowing that you can kill you, and I only trade twice a day now. So I don't really. If I missed a move, I'm out. If I missed a move, I'm out. Missed a move, I'm out. I'm not stressing about catching moves anymore. I know exactly when it's going to come out. I'm looking at news. If I see it, I'm like, okay, Euro news is obviously at 11. So if I'm, for instance, next week, Euro news. So there's news at 3:43, 45 a.m. So I may look for 2 entries for Euro. One at 3:45, which is very important. He speaks once, and then probably people speak, and then he speaks again at 11:15. So I know I can get in around 2:45 a.m. my time and 11. So I can get in twice for this, whatever move is coming. It doesn't matter because price action is going to tell me where it's going. Let me actually look at Bitcoin. Uh, how long? 3 minutes till this. So once this closes under here, I'm still holding it. It's not, I'm not really worried about it. We got 2 minutes. But is there a pair that you guys want me to look at before most of this was just straight up, just markups. Any pairs you guys want me to do, or so much trouble in the world. 32543, 32543. It is a new day, so I will be trading tomorrow too. Um, for Bitcoin, 2543. So much trouble in the world. I think it may actually be filling in fair value right now. So this is fair value right here. I just adjusted my stop loss to 32543. So right there, I'm still very much bullish in this move. Um, let's go to Euro. Undo. So, if there's no other questions, I am gonna end the call. So, but because I already had a meeting today and I'm a bit tired. I mean, I had one last night too, and I had one this morning. So, if you guys have no other pairs that you guys want me to mark up, Can you guys hear me? I hope I haven't been talking um, for a minute and people can't hear me. Let me see. I don't know. Okay, no one's telling me that they can't hear me, so. Trouble in the world. So if no one has a question, I'm actually gonna end the call. We're about to order some food and eat, and then I'm gonna get my day started. I will obviously I'll be having you guys updated on let me cancel this. What I'm seeing in the market, what I'm targeting. Right now, this week, I am looking at EU. EU is the most profitable, looks like the easiest trade you could take. Most profitable to me because you got a nice possible 100 pip move to the buy side. So I will be looking at that. But without further ado, I will save this and then send it to everyone. I hope you guys have a nice day and be careful tomorrow in the markets. If you're not trading Bitcoin, don't, I mean, don't be doing anything crazy because there's no point. Remember what I said about uh, Bitcoin being, or Sunday being the other half day of Friday, and you'll see that. And keep in mind when if a true reversal is happening, the open will be on during what time? During Asian. So if you know it's a true reversal, these banks will start switching their orders during Asian. They don't waste any time at all if it's a true reversal. So, well, I'll let you guys get to your day. I will send this when I am done. You guys have a nice day.